This is kind of a cool old computer. It's an Acer 915V. I think it's a 286. I haven't had it open in so long I don't remember anymore. I also have the original keyboard. It's kind of a mechanical clicky type keyboard, but it's nowhere near as nice as an IBM Model M. In fact, the keys tend to get stuck on this one. But it is pretty solid, and I think if I give it a good cleanup job, it'll work pretty nice. It's got a power LED on it too. I thought that was kind of unusual. It has a regular PS2 interface. And the funny thing about this machine, keyboard and mouse ports are on the front, on the front corner of the case. And on the back, let's see if I can get it flipped around here. Just the plain old ports on the back, parallel, 2 serial, and VGA. Not much else. I've already removed the screws. I'm going to go ahead and pull the top panel off. This has some pretty interesting hardware inside. Alright. When's the last time you saw a mini scribe hard drive with a defect list written on it from the factory? And I think it's actually IDE. Must be a really, really early IDE. Got 4 30-pin SIMs. Probably got, it's either 1 meg or 4 meg, I don't remember. And a game card 3. I remember those from back in the day with my Gravis gamepad. Wish I still had that. Playing Commander Keen on my 386 with an EGA video card. Yeah, them were the days. It's a rather large power supply for what it is. I don't see much information on it at all. Turn it the other way here. This thing's really heavy for such a small computer. Oh, it's a Delta. I'm going to put this on the other side of the workbench over there and turn it on, see what happens. Okay, I'm hooked up over here. It's kind of annoying with the keyboard and mouse coming out the front when all the wires have to go towards the back. And you can see for the first time how this keyboard hooks up that everybody's always asking me about. What kind of keyboard is that? What kind of keyboard is that? I don't really know. It just says Intergraph. It's just a multimedia keyboard, and I got it in a barn full of junk years ago. I would like to get another one because they are extremely handy for testing. And the sound quality is unbelievably good for the fact that it runs off the 5 volts from the keyboard port. If you disconnect this, you have an AT style interface and a barrel plug for power to use a separate power supply. But normally I just leave the PS2 pigtail on there and use it like it is. Now back to the subject of this video. Pushing power, and let's see what this thing does. Huh. 5 megs? It must have 1 meg on the motherboard. Let's see, CMOS checksum error. Battery is dead. Probably not going to see the hard drive. I'm probably going to have to go in and set that all up. Or not. It already booted. Sheesh. What do we have on here? Number Munchers. 1990. Wow. Yeah, there's not much on this computer at all. There was a Street Rod on here, which is what they were using that joystick card for. And some educational programs. That's pretty much it. I might actually do some more with this machine, maybe drop a sound card into it and some more memory, and see how far I can push it as far as old school games are concerned. But You can't do a whole lot with a 286 these days. I kind of remember this game from a long time ago, I want to say. Something that, maybe they had it on the Apple II as well. The new print shop. I don't think it's so new anymore. Boy, I sure remember this from the Apple II days. Speaking of the Apple II, I do have an Apple IIc that I'm going to be getting out to demonstrate shortly here. It's really buried in my basement somewhere. But yeah, that's one of my upcoming videos. Believe it or not, I do have a couple of Apple items. I used to have some Macintosh stuff and some Apple II GS, but over the years I've given it all away or parted it all out. I've had a lot of different computers over the years that I regret getting rid of. You know, I just don't have room for the stuff nowadays, but when I do come across it, it's awful fun to play with once in a while. Yeah, there's not much interesting on this computer really, just a bunch of school programs basically. Spellosaurus, huh? This looks interesting. It actually talks to the speaker. Let's see if it can say YouTube. That didn't sound like much, did it? Dumb computer. Ah. So weird. Gotta love these old school programs. Yes, the classic WordPerfect 5.1. This really reminds me of high school because this is the actual program that I used all through high school. We had the fastest computers in my school were 486 SX25s. I think they were called IBM PS Value Point systems. And it was also the first time I had ever seen a LaserJet 4 Plus printer, and I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. And now I have a LaserJet 4 at my work that I use all the time, that I trash picked. All it needed was some new rollers and some connectors cleaned, and it's been running perfectly for years. And every time I see it, it just reminds me of high school. I'll never forget, you know, a whole classroom full of kids typing up their work in WordPerfect, and the printer would be backlogged like by an hour. I mean, there would just be everybody be printing to it because it was on a network, and I discovered how to go into the network on the computer and direct this program to print on a printer in another room, and then print my work, and I'd get up and leave, and I'd come back with my worksheet, and the teacher would say, "Where did you go?" I said, "I went to get my printout." And, you know, used to drive people crazy because I'd always get my work done first and I couldn't figure out how I did it. But yeah, that was back in the day.